Good morning.
If you don't open it, how we gon' keep eating? Had to grab my five, step inside. When I came around that corner, that boy almost cried. Raps, I'm not about to play, yeah. Young nigga tryna stack up his cake, yeah. Baby, honey, baby, that's my kinda date, yeah. Ex wanna love me, but it's too late now. Sorry, little mama, I cannot save ya. Once I did, try to change ya. You try to shit me in the house with laser. That turned me into a hellraiser. I'm tryna rack up and skirt in a Tesla. Baby on my dick, she say, Fago, you next up. Yeah, little nigga reckless. Around me at a checkup. Niggas tryna be cool, cause that be by my nigga take up. I don't wanna have to stretch you. She gon' flirt in front of her nigga. She like, Fago, you getting bigger. I remember when you was a little nigga. Got shots like that boy Tigger. No, you don't be putting no trigger. Don't wanna have to blick up on nobody. Don't know why these niggas said he wanna try me.
Hey, what's up, guys? And this is gonna be my new what if called What If Naruto was Madara's brother? And I know a lot of you guys are gonna be mad about this, but what if Naruto had the Rinnegan, and what if Naruto was Uchiha, will be discontinued, while being replaced by this what if and another one that I'll be coming up with soon. And let's start this off at some time. We don't know when, but basically it was a war between Senju clan and the Uchiha clan. So few months prior to this, the Uchiha clan has found out that their Sharingan Genkai has died during the war with the soldiers who has awakened them. Now having nobody that's had the Sharingan since the last time they fought the Senju, the Chiha are at a big disadvantage in the next time they will see the Senju. Almost having no chance of taking the win. Taking the win home. So now with the Uchihas not having any Sharingan, we time skip to 3 months in the future. And the Uchiha are having a really long battle with the Senju, lasting up to 3 days, and the Uchiha having to eventually retreat, not having enough men to face off against the Senju for any longer. And we skip to like a year with the war between the Uchiha and Senju still going strong, with the Uchiha with the short side of the stick in the war. And they are trying every way to find out a way to beat the Uchiha, the Senju clan. And we go to the main house of the Uchiha, and we see a lady giving birth to a kid named Naruto Uchiha. And this kid will be born with jet black, smooth hair, black eyes. No, not black eyes. Pure white eyes, and a claw mark, like a birthmark, but it looks like he was scratched by like a huge animal, like on his face, like right on his eye. A birthmark of a scratch on his eye. And then 3 minutes after, this child's mother, whose name will be left anonymous, unknown, dies. And this makes the whole main family cry. and was be saddened with the baby actually not crying at all, not even crying when it was born, which was strange to the doctors since every baby cries when it's born. And we see 5 years later, the same kid with the same white eyes. Actually, forget that. We see them 3 years later, 4, 5 years later, we see the members of the Uchiha's clan main house. The father of the main Uchiha clan, the leader of the Uchihas, Fugaku. We're just gonna name him Fugaku. Fugaku Uchiha. It's not Sasuke's dad. It's just his name's gonna be Fugaku. Fugaku Uchiha, the leader of the Uchiha clan. His oldest son, Madara Uchiha. His second older son, Izuna Uchiha. And his third older son, Itadori Uchiha. And his fourth oldest, um, Spike Uchiha. We're just gonna name him Spike because I don't know what else to name him. Spike Uchiha. And his youngest son, Naruto Uchiha. And Madara not Madara. Fugaku Uchiha tells his son that their brother will have to pass the warrior test in 1 year, and they should all try to help train him. And Naruto Uchiha, the youngest, wasn't the strongest, with the strongest being Madara Uchiha, second strongest being Azuna, and then the third and fourth young oldest being tied in strength. And Naruto actually being the weakest, not knowing one jutsu, but actually being really skilled in shuriken and kenjutsu. Always carrying a katana with him. Always being really sharp in taijutsu too. With him, but without the Sharingan, the Uchiha clans have become way weaker than they once were in their prime. But Naruto Uchiha has really been good in Kenjutsu, Taijutsu, and Shuriken and Kunai Jutsu. But in Ninjutsu, Ninjutsu and Genjutsu, he lacks a lot. And basically, they all go off, them separating ways. Uzuna and Madara going one way, and the youngest three going another way, with Naruto not noticing that his two older brothers are following him. But he goes by the lake, and he tries to do the fireball jutsu, but ends up failing and burning his lips really badly. And this is where his two older brothers, Itadori and Spike, starts bullying him and pushing him around, calling him weak and a disgrace to their clan, and how they wish he wasn't their brother because the main house should never have an Uchiha as weak as him. And seeing how weak he is, they really are disappointed to have him as a sibling in general. And this is where they just see a black flash pass by them, aka Izuna and Uchiha. And then he pushes them back both to the floor, death glaring at them for bullying his youngest but favorite brother, as he sympathizes for Naruto and always tries to be there for him when he needs it. So, Izuna, he tells them how they should never bully their little brother like that. Even if he's weak, he has family, and for that, he's gonna have to punish him or have dad do it. Madara pulls up in front of Izuna telling him that it's okay. He shouldn't overreact. They were just playing with him. And Zuna yells at his older brother, telling him that calling someone a disgrace and a weakling and pushing them around isn't playing. That's called bullying. Madara needs to think more. Madara just telling Zuna he'll take care he'll take care of Itadori and Spike. And they leave, and Azuna picks up Naruto, telling him that he'll take him out for ramen and get him all fixed up at the hospital before. So Naruto says thank you, big brother Azuna, and they leave with Naruto being bandaged up and healed by some Uchiha at the hospital. They go out for ramen, and Azuna starts telling Naruto how he's not weak. They just never put in the effort to ever train Naruto, with them thinking that he's the reason why their mother died. And Naruto, he starts crying, talking about how he never did anything to them. Just because mom died giving me birth doesn't mean anything. Azuna hugs Naruto, telling him that it will be okay, and he'll try to teach him a jutsu tomorrow. And they wake up the next morning. Azuna gives Naruto a piece of paper. He tells Naruto to channel his chakra through the piece of paper. And he does. And the paper, it's it gets wrinkled up. At first, it cuts in like a whole bunch of millions of little pieces. Half of the pieces get wrinkled up. Another part, like a quarter of the other, gets turned into water, and eventually just is pure water. And the other quart, the other quarter, well, the other left, all just burns into flames, turning into ashes immediately. And Naruto, he's super shocked at what happened, and asks Izuna, "What does this mean, big brother?" Izuna says that he has a very, very high affinity for wind and fire, a decent affinity for lightning, and a pretty decent also affinity for water. Naruto, he's happy for him having four um chakra natures, where some of the Uchiha, a lot of the high ranking Uchiha only have two. And Uzuna tells him that he'll teach him two jutsu, since now that they know his chakra natures. And Uzuna, he has fire and lightning, really strong with fire and decent lightning. So he teaches Naruto the ability to use Fireball Jutsu and the ability to use Thunderbolt. Basically, Thunderbolt is when he does a few hand signs, and he'll basically point his finger out in like a gun motion, and it will basically blast off lightning bolts like a gun would do bullets. So basically, after this, Naruto, it will be 3 days later, actually 3 months later, and Naruto, he would have been working on two of his probably greatest jutsu he will ever use, with him knowing 3 fire jutsus and 2 lightning jutsus. Phoenix Fire Jutsu, Fireball Jutsu, and Fire Style Ignite Jutsu. And basically, Ignite just makes him be able to ignite anything that he sees in fire. Basically, like how Amaterasu is, but just regular fire. Like if he looks at it, and he can basically make it ignite in fire. And basically, his lightning jutsu are lightning bolt, and lightning style, lightning drill. So basically, cover his hand in lightning and make it move at alarming rates, basically making a drill made of lightning. And this jutsu that he just mastered today, which would be these two jutsus that he just ended up mastering within these 3 months, will maybe his best jutsu so far. Majestic Destroyer Flame Jutsu, which is his personal jutsu made himself since Madara hasn't learned it yet, and Lightning Style Lightning Cloak, also made from himself. Basically, exactly like the Raikage's is. So, this month is when they will do the Warrior test for Naruto. And Naruto, he passes it with flying colors, getting surprised by everybody. Actually, them thinking that he might be on the level of Itadori with how big his fireball was. It was almost the size of a great fireball, but it was only a regular fireball, which is unusual for most child's Naruto age. And they wonder if Naruto actually learned the great fireball jutsu, he can kill probably 3 people with one jutsu. So they make Naruto learn the fireball great fireball jutsu. And then we skip to 3 months later with Naruto and his brother Izuna just taking a break, just chilling with each other by a river where him and his brother Izuna like to hang out a lot at when they have free time. But Naruto's father still neglected him, and so did his brothers, like Madara. But Madara neglected Naruto on accident. Like, he didn't actually want to neglect Naruto, he just didn't ever know what to speak to him about, thinking it would be awkward if he ever really got in Naruto's way. And Itadori and Spike actually still not liking Naruto, thinking that they're better than Naruto. Izuna and Naruto are basically best friends, and this will be Naruto's only friend, as he will still be looked down upon the whole entire Uchiha clan, even though they all saw how good this kid could be if he had proper training. With them thinking that they would never train him because he's a disgrace to the clan. So him and Izuna are chilling until they're called by their father to the council room where they're having a meeting with the whole entire clan. And the meeting is basically about how in 2 days they will go up to the village, like the river right by the village, to fight the Senju clan. And if they won this could be the biggest win that they will ever have against the Senju clan, making them have more water and more resources than the Senju after winning this battlefield to themselves. And basically, Naruto, he's actually the only Uchiha who wears armor in this, because he wears Madara's armor, like how Madara did, because in this, the Uchiha were raised more cocky like, and were thought they were better than any other clan, and they were basically god level. And they didn't wear armor, thinking that nobody would be able to touch them, even though they seen countless amount of people from their clan be dead in the hands of the Senju. So instead of Madara wearing the red Senju looking armor, Naruto will, and with the katana on his waist, with the rope holding it to his waist, just like Sasuke did. But instead, his rope was blue, resembling his older brother, his favorite brother, favorite color blue, and his suit being red because that's his favorite color. So 2 days later, they will meet up with the Senju up on the river. And Senju, they would yell first, charging at the Uchiha clan. Naruto being scared and excited with adrenaline running through his body, and Izuna right by his side, with them sticking together. And then Izuna has to come to Madara to help him with Senju Hashirama. And then Naruto, he looks over and sees Itadori getting ganged up on by 3 Senju and eventually stabbed through the heart. And this makes a tear fall down Naruto's face. Still loving his brother because they were brothers, he had to protect them. Think that he was too slow to be able to protect his brother. And then seeing Spike suffering almost the same fate with being showered by kunai and shuriken, unable to be dodged because he was stuck in place from a lightning jutsu casted by one of the Senjus. And then this angers Naruto. Unbelievable anger runs through Naruto's body as he runs up to one of the Uchiha, cutting his head off clean, no hesitation. And then he slices another Uchiha, not an Uchiha, Senju, cuts his legs off and then stabs him through the throat, takes out his sword and throws a kunai through another Senju's throat. And then sees this yellow-haired girl charging at her, kicking her in the face, her getting right back up, punching Naruto in the gut. This actually hurts Naruto a little, with her having really strong strength for a kid his age. And he was finna run up on her and stab her through the throat, seeing that she was off her guard, seeing one of her fellow Senju dead. And basically, Naruto realizing, being stuck there for a second, realizing that he just almost killed a girl his age with no hesitation just because she was a part of a separate clan, being disappointed in himself a little, but then thinking that this clan just killed both of his brothers and he needs to end them. And he was finna stab through her throat with a wood pillar coming right to Naruto's side, making him fly. And then white-haired Uchiha and a brown-haired Uchiha fly towards Naruto, finna kill him until Madara comes when the brown-haired ones and kicks him in the stomach, and Izuna blocking the white-haired one's blade. This goes on for a while with them two fighting his brothers, and Naruto looks to his right, seeing Izuna stabbed or cut right through. And this makes Naruto enraged, and his vision goes black for a second, and then he's basically seeing the whole entire battlefield in slow motion. This being the first awakening of the Sharingan again. And then Madara seeing Izuna again, seeing Izuna dead too. The same thing happens to him as they both just reawaken the Uchiha's lost Kicking Genkai, the Sharingan, as as Naruto, knowing that he wouldn't be able to kill Tobirama, even if he's moving in slow motion, seeing that he somehow teleported to his brother and him not knowing how, just goes off with a massacre through like 50 Senju, killing them all with activating his lightning cloak. He punches Hashirama in the face and kicks Tobirama in the rib, breaking some ribs in Tobirama and breaking Hashirama's face. Not his face, his nose. Madara killing some Senju too. They would eventually retreat, knowing that they would have no chance against these two prodigies, knowing how skilled they are. And they would get back to the village. Naruto crying his eyes out, and Madara trying to comfort him, saying that he's still here and he'll always protect Naruto, unlike how he was failed to protect their other three brothers. And then they get to the clan village, their own personal village, and their dad starts posting and calls a meeting on basically congratulating his two sons on awakening the Sharingan. And basically, Madara, he goes up first, saying that with these new eyes, I can see anything, and I'll be able to see through those bastard Senju's movements. and protect our clan and win this war. And then Naruto going up next after Madara giving all his praise. Some people vowing their lifestyle. And Naruto going up says that the Uchiha just flat out says we're arrogant and you guys are fools. And three of my brothers died out there because y'all think you're gods, even though you see multiple of your people die out there on the battlefield, and you still continue fighting stupidly without any strategy, thinking you're gods and untouchable, even though you haven't won a battle against a Senju in 3 years. And this shocks the clan, but them realizing that it's true, if they actually didn't have this superiority complex that they have in being gods and things, they would probably wear armor and actually fight smartly, and probably less clansmen would have died, and their Sharingan would still be prominent in the clan. And some of the members of the Uchiha clan will actually start saying that he's right and that they didn't know how smart a little kid can be. Even some of the elders didn't realize it. Then his Fugaku would yell, "Shut up." This kid's just being throwing a tantrum because his brothers died. And he doesn't realize how we'll sing songs about their sacrifices. And then Naruto tells him to shut up. And that if it was point of singing songs about his brother's sacrifices, if they would never hear him. And then this shocks Fugaku, knowing that it's kind of true, that it was the point if they will never be able to hear sing, them singing and dancing about their sacrifices. And then Fugaku tells Naruto that, well, now with the Sharingan, we don't need armor anyway. We'll be able to destroy those Senjus. And Naruto says, I don't like the Senju either, but that one with the wood style and his brother, you won't be able to take him down that easily. And the rest of their clan, with them being more and more prodigies being raised by the minute, if you idiots don't step up and start being more smarter, we'll die off faster than any species ever. And them actually agreeing with Naruto, knowing that it's true. They're only having more and more kids, and they're not really stopping them from making more prodigies. It's really not that hard. They just have to be smarter. Like they have the smarts, but they just don't want to use them because they're too arrogant. And then they Fugaku actually takes this to heart, knowing that he's gonna actually have to suit up his warriors with better uh, equipment, knowing that the equipment that they have now is trash compared to the Senju's. And then he tells Naruto that he'll actually take that to heart, but they will never lose to the Senju again now that his two sons have the Sharingan. And two people's um three people walk up the stage bowing to Naruto. The first one name will be Shi- Shi- Shigaraki Uchiha, giving his life to, saying that he'll give his life for Naruto and he will always be there for him, and he believes in him, thinking that he'll be the savior of the Uchiha clan and the strongest shinobi ever to ever live. And the second one being Mikoto Uchiha, not Sasuke's mom, but the name's gonna be Mikoto, saying that she'll pledge her loyalty to Naruto even though she might not be that strong. She'll fight to get stronger for Naruto. And no, this won't be a ship. As you know, if you've been listening, it will be a Tsunade ship. And the third one name will be Shisui Uchiha. This actually being the Uchiha from Naruto, but he's gonna be older, and he's not probably not gonna be in OG Naruto. So they all basically pledged their loyalty to Naruto and said they believe in him and will train and get stronger for Naruto and always be beside him, by his side, being his friends. So Naruto he accepts them as friends and companions that he will always have by his side. And Shisui, he would have the exact same Mangekyo and have the probably the exact same skill in body flicker. And eventually would teach Naruto body flicker, but not now. And basically the other ones, I'm gonna tell you about their skill later. But hold on, I need to go do something. Okay, I'm back. So basically, Shigaraki's ability basically would be like Shigaraki's in My Hero Academia. He will have a special Keke Genkai from his mom's side, which wasn't Uchiha, named DK. It would be exactly like Shigaraki's DK. He touches you with 5 fingers, you're gone. You're done, so means you're never coming back. You're fully decayed, and there's no way to revive you, and you won't be able to be revived by the reanimation jutsu because they will never be able to find your body because you would not have a human lively earth. You will not have an earthly body anymore. So, and we know that the reincarnation jutsu doesn't bring specifically back the soul itself. It more just reanimates their body. And basically, they go off what the person who reanimated them will. So, yeah, that will be Shigaraki's ability. And he will be really skilled in taijutsu, which he will use a special taijutsu style to make him be able to get close to his opponent quickly and really high speed levels because also he will probably have like release speed in the fifth gate by the time the he gets to 20 years old. But for now, he probably has Lee, like Guinea Lee, like Chunin exams Lee speed with the weights on anyway. So he would be pretty fast. And he would be really good at Kenjutsu. He wouldn't have any ninjutsu for now. Actually, he will have Fire Style Phoenix Fire Jutsu and Fire Style Great Fireball Jutsu. He never was able to learn Fire Style Fireball Jutsu, so they just skipped that. And basically, the girl named Mikata Uchiha, her abilities would be Tsunade level strength and Tsunade level healing. She would be a really good healer, and she would have Uchiha stance. She'll use the famous flame Uchiha fire style Uchiha stance jutsu. Basically, improving on your speed with using fire and your strength while also using fire on your fist. And she'll be fast. Not as fast as Shigaraki, but she'll be fast. Also knowing the body flicker jutsu, not as good as Shisui's, but knowing it. And she'll know fire style fireball jutsu and wind style wind blade jutsu. Actually, this being able to make the blade out of any wind chakra, like any type of blade. And Shisui, he'll actually have a little bit. more skill in this, he would be really efficient in body figure, like Liu Kang, and he would be able to use Uchiha style Halo dance, Uchiha style formation. Um, he was have Uchiha style, fire style, fire style Uchiha stance, and fire style fireball jutsu, fire style great fireball jutsu, fire style phoenix flower jutsu, and um fire style fire dragon jutsu. And Naruto's jutsu at this point, like 3 months, it's been 3 months again, and his jutsu for now are water style. The jutsu from before that I already mentioned: water style, water dragon, water style, water bullet, water fire style, flame dragon bomb jutsu, earth style, lightning style, Chidori. He will learn that. He will actually make that jutsu after awakening his Sharingan. And he will have one style vacuum wind bullet, one style wind creation, basically being able to create anything out of wind, any weapons, one style wind sight jutsu. And Naruto, he would be really strong in taijutsu, being as fast as Lee without any weights, and as strong as Lee, and really good in Kenjutsu. I don't know who could compare him to in Kenjutsu, but yeah, he'll be really strong with it. So, and he would have lightning style, lightning cluck level 2. Basically, 2 times better than the Raikage's lightning cluck, and he'll be really, really fast with it. And he'll actually not use the lightning cloak as much anymore, and would actually teach all of his pupils it. By pupils, I mean Shisui, Mikoto, and Shigaraki, because he would use the gates now. He would be able to go all the way up to the 7th gate, but it will put a huge strain on his body, just like anybody else. But he wouldn't be able to go to 8th gate because that would kill him, and just like anybody else. But because he doesn't have Kurama in this, it would kill him. So they have another war with the Senjus, and it's actually no, they don't, not right now. It's been 3 months since that announcement, and Mikoto, Shisui, and Shigaraki pledged their loyalty to Naruto. And we see our main character Naruto sitting on his river, thinking about his deceased brothers, thinking how him and his brother Izuno probably will be eating some ramen at this time, with them being having free time, him and Madara. Madara, someone would walk up behind Naruto, tapping him on his shoulder, with Naruto pulling out his sword, putting it to the person's neck, and this person being Madara, putting his hands up, telling him that he was only bringing his brother some. He was only trying to bring his little brother some dinner. Sheesh. Sheesh. And basically, Naruto would say, "Oh, sorry, Madara, it's a natural reflex." He would say, it's okay. Just came to bring you some lunch." And Naruto, he says he's not hungry. Madara's saying, "I'm not gonna eat if you don't. You know that, right?" And Naruto starts yelling at Madara, telling him that just because he doesn't want to eat doesn't mean he doesn't, nor Madara doesn't have to. He has to go big and strong to become the clan head, and he doesn't want to die like their other brothers did. Madara being shocked that Naruto actually cares about him like that, knowing that he low-key neglected him as a kid. But Naruto gives him a hug and says he doesn't want to lose another brother, and that he's special to him, and that he always wants to keep him safe. And Madara says, well, that's my job. Sorry. And they both just start laughing. And Madara says, if you're ever feeling sad, you can come to me, right? And Naruto, he shakes his head, saying, well, you're too busy these days with all this clan work and stuff, almost being the clan head, basically being more important than dad now, with Naruto laughing. And Naruto, he's not laughing, he's serious, he has a serious face. He stops, holds onto Naruto's shoulders, telling him that, bringing him into a hug, telling him that he can cry. He knows that he wants to, he can see it. He has a Sharingan, that he can make me joke about having the Sharingan and being able to see everything and how he's a god. But this being a joke, Madara's not actually seeing himself as a god. And Naruto starts laughing and crying really hard on Madara's shoulder, being really sad, still grieving over his brother's death, Mizuno Uchiha. And Naruto says thank you, and he eats his lunch, and so does Madara, and they're just chilling at the river until they get called up by um their father. And Naruto, he has the three tomo Sharingan now. So does Madara. They both have a mature three tomo. And we're gonna say Shisui, like during they Shisui does not have the Sharingan, neither does the Mikuto and Shigaraki. But Shisui, he's gonna have a special Kekkei Genkai called um um it's basically like Hashirama wood manipulation ability where he can just use wood style and stuff. But he has um black lightning, but he's able to manipulate it at will. He doesn't need to use any hand signs or stuff like that. He can just manipulate black lightning. And Shigaraki, we already explained his Kekkei Genkai. And Mikoto, she doesn't have one. She's just really skilled more than a usual Kunoichi is. So they get called to the council office with the clan's warriors, with Shisui Mikoto being there, and so does Shigaraki. And being told that they will have another battle with the Uchihas again, with this being in 5 days. So get prepared, warriors. And they all say, yes, sir. They leave. Naruto, he gets his armor, he gets his sword, he sharpens his sword for 5 days straight, no stop, knowing that his sword's been getting duller as the time's been going on, with his sword being sharper than the normal swords should be, and the Uchiha clan actually being confident with Naruto too, knowing that him, Shisui, Shigaraki, Mikoto, him, Naruto, would be able to easily take down a few hundred Senju apiece, not realizing that forgetting that the Senju have been getting stronger as well. So Naruto, they go on the battlefield, all the Uchiha, and they meet up actually like a couple of miles away from the final valley. And at this couple of miles away from the final valley, they see the Senju, and this time they charge first, with Naruto body flickering in front of a Senju, cutting his head clean off, and then stabbing another Senju about 11 times in all of his limbs within the seconds. And then he opens the second gate and kicks the Senju, breaking his jaw, immobilizing him by cutting his legs off. And he looks to the right, seeing that Madara's already taking care of Hashirama, not killing him, not killed him, but he's holding him up. And then he sees Tobirama. With him being enraged, he opens the fourth gate and he punches Tobirama so quick that Tobirama couldn't even react. And he already has his third Tomo activated. Three Tomo Saryon activated. And he is beating the crap out of Tobirama, yelling at Tobirama that he killed his brother, and now he's gonna kill you. And now I'm gonna kill you permanently. And make sure you never come back. And then he goes flying out of nowhere, with Naruto being in his gate, destroying Tobirama's face for like 8 minutes straight, with it eventually wearing off. Gets kicked in the ribs really hard, and turns around seeing the same blonde haired girl that he almost killed in the last battle. And he's basically facing up against both of them, eventually activating his cloak, his first form cloak, knowing that he's gonna need it, knowing how fast Tobirama is and how strong his knees. No, he's not. This ain't gonna be. Yeah, we're gonna say his knees, as this will be Tobirama's direct descendant, being his daughter in this one. I don't see how other way he can. So she will be really alive at this point in time. So yeah, he had to have a kid early because the Senju clan after that battle was really lacking in Shinobi. So they forced him to have a kid, and his wife would still be the same Uzumaki as canon. So Naruto, he, in a flash of lightning, like with the speed of lightning, he punches Tobirama in the rib, in the stomach actually, making him cough up blood. With him being hit by Tsunade without being even able to turn around, seeing that her speed has improved since the last time that they fought, and that she doesn't have as sloppy movements. And she tells Naruto that he should have killed her when he saw her last time instead of hesitating, like a bad word. Like, yeah. So, um, Naruto, he decides to go for Tsunade, actually running up on her really fast, with her not being able to see him, actually, with him using the body flicker on top of Lightning Cloak, still in his first form. He kicks her in the stomach, and then, well, he knees her in the stomach, and does a couple of punches to her face, and then when she flies upwards, he comes behind her and kicks her down, thinking that she's immobilized, that he doesn't need to kill her because she won't be useful to the fight anymore. Going for Tobirama. Tobirama teleports behind Naruto out of nowhere. And Naruto being able to actually comprehend his movements, with him been training with the Sharingan for so long, he turns around quick enough, activating his first form like that, his second form of Lightning Cloak like that. It kicks Tobirama in the rib, with him flying into a tree, being immobilized. He rushes over towards Madara, and he sees that he got Tobirama with this amazing fire style. And then he turns off his Lightning Cloak, thinking that he's not going to need it for anybody else. Actually using Lightning Bolt to kill a couple of Senju, and then Lightning Fire style Phoenix Fire Jutsu, not using Majestic Destroy Flame yet. And then he turns around and sees Shigaraki doing good, decaying people when they got close. And Mikoto he sees Sisui doing good, and then he turns around and sees Mikoto being stabbed through the chest by by 5 different shinobi, and he gets enraged, actually unlocking his Mangekyo, which I will explain the abilities after this battle. He uses hand signs so fast that Madara wouldn't even be able to see him with his 3-symbol activated, and yells, "Majestic Destroyer Flame!" And this burns all the shinobi that stabbed her into ashes, with him cradling her body, screaming out loud, entering the 7th gate, killing 70 shinobi, like within the span of a minute. And the Senju having to retreat again, knowing that they will probably only be able to last one more battle. And them basically going home with Madara not being close to Shisui, so not unlocking his Mangekyo. Naruto would open his eyes in front of his father, seeing the Mangekyo, and his father seeing the Mangekyo, with them having another praising him, Naruto again, like they did in the first battle for him unlocking the Sharingan, but in this one, him unlocking the Mangekyo, with them actually thinking that he's going to be the strongest shinobi to ever live. And basically, the Mangekyo ability of Naruto's, his Genjutsu will basically be Infinite Tsukiyomi. Exactly, Infinite Tsukiyomi. Like, it would be exactly like that, but he wouldn't. A lot of the times, he can change, except for like stabbing them with a sword. He can do anything that he wants to them while they're on their cross. Uh, Basically, the ability to make time stop for at least a minute, but he can only do that 3 times a day. And then he can use the ability to um, make invisible clones, but they only last about for 30 seconds, so they don't last that long. But basically, that would be all his abilities. And he can teleport to, like, he can create different dimensions. He don't go in the dimensions. He can put things in there and pull them out whenever he wants. So basically, it's a different dimension with all his materials and things that he can have. He can put any material, non-living thing in there. So he can basically put anything in there except for a human and a cell piece. And he can also put jutsus in there. And they'll basically go off in there. So he basically can absorb jutsus. So basically that would be the abilities of his Mangekyo. I would say his Mangekyo is pretty broken. It's pretty good Mangekyo. So it's probably the best one that we've seen. And his Susanoo would be pure white. Nothing else. Just white. Actually, his eyes would be black though. Actually, Naruto's Sharingan wouldn't be a regular Sharingan. It would be black on the outside, and instead of red on the outside and black tomo, his will be black on the outside and white tomos. So Susanoo will be white and black eyes, and his Rangekyo basically would be like the Kamui, but Sasuke's inside of the Kamui's. No, his would basically be like the claw mark on his eye, like a slice on his eye, just 4 of them, like basically separating his eye into 4 different parts. So 2 cuts, 4 different parts. So yeah, basically you can say it's 4 triangles or 2 cuts cutting it into 4 pieces. Whatever. And the pieces are white and the cuts in the background of it are black. So this would actually be a special Sharingan with them just thinking that Naruto's special, but it's actually not a Sharingan. It's a, I don't know what to call it. Put a name for this dojutsu down in the comments. So his regular Sharingan wouldn't actually be a regular Sharingan. Things would be way slower than it would be if you had a regular 3-0. Like that's how he was able to see Tobirama's movement so easily because his new his special dojutsu, and he can use Uzanagi, the thing that lets you live through an attack that you let you directly kill you and blind your eye forever. He can use that 3 times until his eye goes blind in each eye, and yeah, basically he can use that 6 times for his Mangekyo if he's using it with his Mangekyo. And yeah, basically Naruto's Sharingan, well, his new Dojutsu would be really special, and it wouldn't actually be a Sharingan. So it wouldn't actually be a Mangekyo Sharingan. It would be a Mangekyo, whatever y'all want to call the Dojutsu. So yeah, that's basically when they done praising him, he grieves, like he's crying over Mikito's death, being really angry at the Senju clan, hating them even more, but realizing that it's kind of his fault too, thinking that she wouldn't actually be as strong as Shisui and Shigaraki, so he didn't train her as much. So she didn't have as much skill as them in anything. He barely even taught her any jutsus. She didn't have the lightning cloak. She would have probably died way faster than that. So Naruto, he's reflecting on how he's basically turning into how he was basically like Itadori to him to her, but just without the bullying. And then he starts remembering Izuna how he should have killed Tobirama before, thinking that that's the person who killed his favorite brother and the only person who ever cared about him, the first person to ever care about him. But that's where I'm gonna end it off. Make sure to like, or make sure you put those post notifications on, and subscribe. And I'll be back with another video on Monday or Tuesday. Peace. Hey, and I forgot about this. Exactly what you're looking at is how he looks, just with longer hair, a cut on his eye, and white eyes. I forgot to tell you guys that. Yeah, but basically that's exactly how he looks when he's just walking around, just without the Katsuki symbol on his wristband. That's exactly how it looks. And he's gonna have the same piercing on his lip, just connecting to another piercing on his ear. So he's gonna actually look very emo. And his hair is gonna be longer than that. Pretty much, pretty longer than that. It's basically gonna be covering one eye and be a long ponytail behind. That's basically what his hair gonna look like. But besides that, that's exactly how he's gonna be looking like in this series. When he's just walking around. But when he's on the battlefield, he's gonna have Madara's armor that he had in canon, but that he doesn't have now, and a blue robe around his waist with a black katana on that robe. Peace. Oh, and also, I mean the fit and everything. Like the fit is exactly how he fit's gonna be. The piercing, like I said, is gonna be on his lip and all the way connecting to the one on his ear, and his hair is gonna be longer. Basically, what I said earlier, but I forgot to say, the fit is gonna be his exact fit that he's gonna wear.